Straight ahead on CCX News.
One kid at 22 has touched nearly 1 million people.
A Plymouth woman starts a ripple effect to help people around the world. Plus, Wayzata students learn about the opportunities of learning a trade. But first, a robbery and death of a retired crystal dentist and his wife shakes the community.
That's just terrible. Now I'm afraid I'm going to have to start locking my door.
And police are looking for who did it. CCX News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. A robbery in Crystal has now become a homicide investigation. The robbery happened December 2nd at a home in the 4100 block of Colorado Avenue North. According to police, a 99-year-old Crystal man later died from injuries sustained in that robbery. Reporter Sonia Goins is live at the Crystal Police Department with more on what happened. Sonia?
Now, Shannon, people I talk with are really surprised that this happened right around the corner from the Crystal Police Station. Now, police tell me that the robbers didn't use any weapons, but they did get away with cash. They also took away something much more valuable. On December 2nd, 2 men entered the home of 99-year-old John Joe Shea and his wife, Jerry. They demanded money, dragging John by the arm until they got what they were looking for.
They pushed the elderly couple around some, and including dragging the male resident.
John received a cut on his arm. He was treated for his injuries, but had to return back to the hospital several days later, where he later died from an infection.
The injuries that the resident sustained happened during the course of the robbery. And the medical examiner has ruled this death a homicide.
He was a nice guy.
The news hit hard for people who knew the couple well.
I was really shocked because I said, no, it cannot be them because I know that they are really old.
Dr. William Leon is a dentist and purchased the business that sits right next door to John and Jerry's home.
Yeah, I call Grandpa and Grandma because I feel really like his grandson.
Dr. Leon spoke with Jerry after the crime happened.
Grandma told me that the guys enter, wake up him, and they were trying to force his arm and say, "What is the money? What is the money?"
But Dr. Leon says John Joe Shea didn't hear those commands because he was deaf.
He didn't listen to anything, so they tried to scream and thinking that that he's not trying to give the money.
Now, sadly, Jerry Joe Shea is dead too, passing away from natural causes shortly after her husband, John.
I think this dramatic moment to her was like shocking, and he was everything for her. Now, John liked to tinker in his garage while his wife Jerry liked to read books and talk politics. Their friends say that they're going to really miss them. Meanwhile, police do not have a description of the suspects, but they don't think that this is random and the public is not in danger. If you have any information, give Crystal Police a call. Live in Crystal, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
All right, thank you, Sonia. The Hennepin County Sheriff's Office is warning residents about a telephone scam. They say callers are posing as representatives of local law enforcement agencies. The caller tells people there's a warrant out for their arrest because of missed jury duty or unpaid court fees or a similar claim. The scammers then give instructions on how to pay a fine. It's important to know the Sheriff's Office, or any law enforcement agency for that matter, will never call or email you asking for any kind of payment. Local courthouses will be impacted by an upcoming Hennepin County court closure. Reporter Meredith Hackler joins us now to explain more. Meredith?
Shannon, the Southdale Courthouse in Edina is set to close on February 1st. The 45-year-old building was deemed inadequate and will eventually be demolished. It means courthouses at Brookdale in Brooklyn Center and Ridgedale in Minnetonka, as well as the downtown Minneapolis courthouse, will pick up the slack.
So there's cases that are now going to be heard downtown at the government center that include some of the suburbs, Bloomington, Richfield, the Metropolitan Airports Commission, and then jurisdictions that had been at Southdale, some went to Ridgedale, and then some had to come to Brookdale to even out the case volume that we have.
This Southdale closure will have a domino effect. For example, cases from Golden Valley, Plymouth, and Maple Grove, which are currently heard at the Ridgedale Courthouse, will be moved to Brookdale. A new courtroom at Brookdale is being built to get ready for the February 4th changeover. Chief Judge Ivy Bernhardson says the changes will not increase any caseloads for judges.
We have 3 teams of 5 judges that handle the 3 suburban court locations. So one of those judges will be here 2 days a week and then downtown 3 days a week, so that the case volume, that there should not be a change in, you know, how the cases are handled here, because 2 days a week there'll be 2 judges rather than 1.
Officials did add that you can pay fines at any courthouse, but if you do have court and aren't sure which location you will be at, you can call 612-348-2040 to find out where your case will be heard. Shannon?
All right, thank you, Meredith. Students at Wayzata High School who might be interested in technical careers got a glimpse of their future today. Wayzata High School hosted its 2nd annual technical career fair on Friday. It was an opportunity for students to interact with dozens of different vendors, including community colleges, area businesses, trade schools, and labor unions. This career fair offers students the opportunity to explore different options outside of a traditional 4-year university.
And what we're trying to do here is open doors for students that may realize that I'm not going to make it through, or I can't afford a 4-year college. Let's look at a program that gets me into a career quicker, and a lot of these companies are willing to pay for students' trainings.
This year's fair also showcased careers in public safety and culinary arts. If you think locals farmers markets wrapped up at the end of the growing season, think again. In Plymouth, you can head on over to Bachman's on Saturday for the winter's farmers market. Vendors gave us a taste today of what you will see, and not only will there be some flowers available from greenhouses, but 17 local vendors will be selling some of your farmers market food favorites, like Natasha's pierogies.
It's beautiful being in the greenhouse. I hope the sun's out, makes it even better. And it's just supporting your local food suppliers and craftsmen.
The farmers market is sponsored by the city of Plymouth, and it is Saturday from 9 until 1:30, and it is free to attend. There's also another one at Bachman's in February and in March. Still ahead, a local family who puts their souls into the soles of shoes. Plus, Maple Grove takes on Andover in a key matchup between the top 5 teams in boys hockey. But first, a mild January weekend with highs in the 30s. What started as a simple service project for a local 13-year-old has ballooned into something extraordinary. We meet a family who learned firsthand how caring can impact thousands.
If they don't have a pair of shoes, they don't get to go to school for the children. If they don't go to school, they don't get a meal. If they don't get a meal, you never know what might happen to them.
When a 7.0 earthquake hit Haiti in 2010, one call for help was for shoes. 13-year-old Claire Frances Baker wanted to help.
I thought that 250 pair was a good range of goal.
That's Claire Frances 9 years ago, describing the start of a journey that's literally gone around the world.
And was initially told no, this wasn't going to be a big enough service project to start as a 13-year-old.
But Mom Pam says it wasn't long before that 250 turned into 2,500, then 5,000. And now?
A 53-foot semi will hold approximately 25,000 pairs of shoes.
The Bakers ought to know they filled 17 of them.
425,000 pair. So our goal this year is to hit 500,000.
250 to 500,000. The family paired up with nonprofit Souls for Souls to distribute the shoes where they're needed the most. Haiti, Africa, and even here in the U.S.
This is the ripple effect of one kid at 22 has touched nearly 1 million people.
Claire Frances is off to college now. Her family is more than happy to pick up where she left off.
Putting shoes from one box to another box, to be placed up there, to be moved to another trailer.
They were never looking for any kind of reward, which made it all the more surprising when ABC's Vacation Creation took notice.
We're off to New Zealand!
And sent the whole family on the trip of a lifetime. And while they had a blast, it's the timing of the show that struck them the most.
Saturday, when this show airs, is actually the 9-year anniversary of the earthquake that hit Haiti, that catapulted our family into this collection to begin with.
And the family isn't taking a break. This Sunday, they will be accepting more donations to fill the last few feet of that trailer space between 3:30 and 4:30 at Shire Brothers Lumber in Brooklyn Park. Still ahead, the Plymouth Playhouse hosts a tribute to Barbara Streisand. But first, Osseo and Maple Grove renew their rivalry on the wrestling mat. John Jacobson is in next.
Maple Grove's boys hockey team is ranked 4th of the state in Class AA. The Crimson came into Thursday night's big Northwest Suburban Conference North Division game against second-ranked Andover with just one loss. This one on Maple Grove's home ice. Huskies goalie Ben Fritzinger helps keep this game scoreless early. Stops the one-timer from Trevor Kukkonen here. No score after one period. Second period, Andover's Luke Cron shoots. Rebound comes to Charlie Schoen, who bangs the puck home on the rebound, and it's 1-0 Huskies lead. But just 30 seconds later, they have a big turnover in their own zone. Brandon Reller misses the net with a shot, but it comes right to Chris Kernan. He scores on the rebound. Crimson and their fans excited about that, and it is 1-1. Later in the second period, good job by Andover defenseman Mitchell Wolf to keep the puck in the zone. Holden Dunleavy sneaks a shot into the Crimson net. The Huskies are back in front. It's 2-1 after 2. Third period, great passing by Andover here. Gunnar Thorson, nice setup for Nick Dainty, who finishes. The Huskies would add an empty net goal as well to win 4-1. Maple Grove hosts Anoka Saturday afternoon. Rivals Maple Grove and Osseo usually have pretty good matches when they go head-to-head in wrestling. Osseo hosted the Crimson Thursday, 126 pounds. Osseo's Rufus Somerville gets the pin over Quinton Colness for a big Orioles win. At 145, Maple Grove's David Grant draws even in the third period and then wins in overtime with a 4-2 decision over Jack Cornell. Maple Grove's Gavin Peterson ranked at 145. He wrestles at 152 this night. He wins by fall over Caden Lacombe. 170. Osseo's Aiden Wayne gets it done quick with a first period pin. Osseo freshman Jacob Meisner is ranked at 182. He wins by fall over Johan Rodvik. Another ranked wrestler for the Crimson is Evan Hull. He dominates at 195, winning by tech fall over Connor Wayne. Osseo's Jagger Shack is ranked 9th at 220 pounds. He wins by fall in the first period over Bryce Tybert. Osseo gets the Drogemuller Cup back. They win it by a final score of 48-23 over Maple Grove. The Wayzata Wrestling team edged Osseo in a close dual meet earlier this season. The Trojans have a lot of young talent, and they're chasing another late conference title. They hosted Hopkins. Wayzata seizes control from the start. Cal Lundquist with the cradle on to the pin Jackson Williams in the 106-pound match. At 113, Kyler Wong uses the arm bar and then turns Ty Schmidt to his back. Wong also gets a first period fall for the Trojans. Cale Swenson is ranked 4th at 120. He'll use a cradle to pin Adrian Dysart as Wayzata wins the first 5 matches by pin to storm out to a 30-0 lead. Clifton Patterson is a returning state entrant for Hopkins. He scores near fall points on the way to a major decision over Lucas Ojeda at 138. But Parker Carey quickly regains the momentum for Wayzata. He's also a returning state entrant and pins Sam Reichel in the 145-pound match. And there's some close ones too. At 152, Adam Eldemir of Wayzata scores near fall points late to break a tie against Allen Rutherford. And Eldemir wins 7-4. The Trojans roll over Hopkins 66-10. High school boys swimming teams are back in the pool with dual meets after the holiday break. 2 Northwest Suburban Conference schools met Thursday when Champlin Park hosted Park Center. 200-yard medley relay, Donovan Duran stakes Champlin Park to a big lead in the first leg. And then Andrew Meester finished it for the Rebels. They win with a time of 2 minutes, 7.65 seconds. 200 freestyle, Champlin Park freshman Nicholas Jacobs wins big with a time of 2 minutes, 13.51 seconds, 6 seconds ahead of runner-up Gabe Kronig. 200 individual medley, Caleb Kalahar, a runaway winner for the Rebels, his time 2 minutes, 30.44 seconds. And in the 50 freestyle, Tucker Gaspar wins the sprint for Champlin Park with a time of 26.29 seconds. Champlin Park wins the meet 91-77 over Park Center. And that is it for sports. Shannon is back with more news right after this.
If you haven't heard about the show happening every month in Plymouth's Black Box Theater, maybe you should go check it out. Last fall, a new group called the Harbor Repertory Theater started performing a variety show once a month in the theater, which is in the basement of the Plymouth Creek Center. It's another event the Parks and Rec Department and Plymouth Arts Council help facilitate for adults.
The biggest thing that I want audiences to do is just have a good time and be entertained. But if they're going to take something away in that sense, just an appreciation for how much fun some of this classic stuff can be.
There is a new episode every month, and the shows include classics and new works too. The cost is $15, and the next show happens to fall on Valentine's Day. For more information, check out Plymouth Parks and Recreation. The Plymouth Playhouse has a new show that is a tribute to one of the most iconic singers of the past 60 years. Neil Persley has more in today's Weekend Showcase.
Don't tell me not to live, just sit and pop. Life's candy and the sun's up all up. Don't bring around a cloud of rain on my parade.
I could always imitate different artists from a young age.
Melody Mendes is a professional singer.
And I grew up with the Guilty album, so I was always in my living room just performing as Barbara.
Don't bring around a cloud of rain on my parade.
Basically, it was a couple years ago, and I remember thinking to myself, well, what can I do that's different, that no one else in this town is doing? And then my head went, oh, well, no one's really doing Barbra Streisand. I mean, I have friends who perform as drag doing Barbara, but they're not singing.
She has the mannerisms, that Brooklyn brogue, and even an uncanny resemblance to a younger Barbara. But it is her singing that makes Melody the complete Streisand.
I'm wearing second-hand hats, second-hand clothes. That's why they call me second-hand rose.
Barbara, or Melody, takes us on a guided tour through the progression of Streisand's recording life, with stops in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, all the way to the present. She said she knows people will be scrutinizing closely her impression of this larger-than-life icon.
I'm hoping that through my shows, somehow that veil is lifted, and it becomes, people have said that it feels like they're watching the real thing, like they start to transition, which is that magic, and it's super exciting.
You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running.
For Weekend Showcase, Neil Persley, CCX News.
Decades, a tribute to Streisand will be on stage at the Plymouth Playhouse through January 25th. And that is all the time we have for now. Thanks for joining us. We will see you back here again on Saturday. Have a good weekend.